month's compression handstand pancake workout. Actually going to work an isometric version of each, and we're going to be using, well, I'm using a barbell, just using a static position, holding just the legs level. So we're going from a tuck version to a straddle version, and then if you've got that down, you can go to the pike. You can also just go from the tuck to the pike. It is quite hard. Some details with it that make it much more challenging is to try and not let the ribs flare out, which I find really hard, as well as trying to find a range that you can get with the hamstrings before they tuck under. So you really want to open those out. So I find both of those quite challenging. So if I'm in this position, a nice dead hang, trying to not let the shoulders internally rotate, but keeping that position, and then coming up into the tuck, keeping the core tight, ribs in, so that way I'm getting a nice isometric position there. And from there you can come out into that open straddle or half straddle, full, and coming back. So you might want to transition between them, or ideally holding each one, building up to kind of 15-20 seconds, and then going into the next position. So this next one, doing a tuck to pike, so you kind of got the legs bent and then you're trying to get that butt over. What makes this hard again is to try and get a straight line from the hips to the shoulders to the wrists. So as your legs straighten, that angle is going to go more over to like a 7, which makes it a lot heavier on the shoulders. So it's a good idea to film this one because the details are really important. As whether you're going to arch like that to get the butt over, which I do, or you're going to planche a bit but not let the hips and the hamstrings open up. So it's really taking your time to improve it. I'm still working on this one for myself, but you definitely just want to challenge yourself, but make sure that you feel strong and try and work on all those technique cues as you're going along. You want to try not to let the elbows flare, lock the elbows out, get that nice grip position with the hand, and feel the butt coming over. So you don't want to start too far away, because you're going to tuck to begin with. And then you want the butt to end up past the fingertips. So here, as I go over, there's more load. I'll finish on those toe tips there, so I can be a bit closer. There. Really trying to press up. So you want to find that position where you're in a balance and work on that, but it's really trying to make sure that you're not letting that happen, that you're really opening up the shoulders. So it's a lot more strength than a straight line handstand, and even a straight line handstand, to really get it straight is a lot of strength. So for the legs with that, just doing a straddle pancake. So from here, keeping around you can go like a 45-degree hip angle. If you wanted to, you could do like a 90-degree. You can use a load here, or like I do, I have the feet up on boxes, so I can go between them with the load there and keep the shoulder blades down and back. But here, if I did the load here, I just get to the floor, wouldn't get far enough. So keeping the back straight and then holding a nice isometric there, 15 to 20 seconds. And then going into a rest. You could work it up to higher to like a 30-second hold, but it's, you want to try and work a heavier load rather than going for longer duration. So that way you get more strength from it. So same for the other ones. Once you've got the tuck down for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, start advancing it to the straddle or start extending out into the pike. And then same for this guy. Once you've got a tuck, with the tuck you can still challenge the shoulders by getting even closer, so that way you're still getting, even in a tuck, you're still getting a slight angulation there rather than being vertical. So you can kind of challenge yourself without even having the hamstring component be a factor. So you're trying to get that lean. But obviously, just really working each with good form, they should all feel good. If you need a longer round time than the usual kind of 30 on, 30 rest. You know, do 2.5 to 3 minutes just to get that next set performance, but really make sure that you're really paying attention to the details. Filming this is an absolute, like, you have to film this to be able to see what's going on. As much as you think you know what position everything is in and what's going on, it's not until you film that you really can see what's going on. Even if you've got a good coach standing there beside you pointing it out, which is a nice luxury, it's still good to be able to see yourself to work out, you know, what's going on and get the sensations and the feelings for those corrections. So yeah, submit that one. It's a really important one to get some feedback on. Hand compression, so instead it's in that isometric for this month. If you've been going well with last month's version, by all means keep it going. And I think 8 weeks is quite a good amount of time for each one. So if you find that works better for you, do that. You know, so get into that even 12 weeks. But you know, you want to try and vary it up, you know, enough so that way you stay interested, but not varying it so much that you don't know where you're at and you're not actually joining the different variations together. See you soon.